Quiet people have the most interesting minds. Quiet people are explorers of details and see the world through the prism of sensitivity. Quiet people often go unnoticed. Rarely is it taken into account what lies behind that serene, cautious, and silent appearance. They are observant people, explorers of the senses who connect more intensely with reality, with small details, and with those sensitive worlds that hide varied and exciting universes. Each of us processes information differently. That is something we already know. However, sometimes we forget that these differences are linked above all to our personality style. According to Marty Olson-Laney, author of the book The Introverted Vantage, quiet people, those who respond to an introverted profile, do so in a slower, more meticulous and deeper way. Thomas Carlyle said silence is a great element in which great things are formed. This is so for a very specific reason, as well as fascinating. Every stimulus in the brain of the introverted person makes a complex journey linked to emotional memory, analysis, and planning. For their part, the most extroverted people have a slightly lower threshold of sensitivity to stimuli and are much faster when it comes to issuing a response or starting a behavior. It is not much less about extolling one personality style over another. In fact, most of us can have features of both dimensions, even though we are closer to one of them. What we want to expose with this is that, to this day, that silence in the introverted person continues to be misunderstood and even neglected in educational centers. My father used to say that quiet people were rare birds in a world of extroverts. Every day, teachers and professors see in their classrooms those students who, sitting in the last rows, spend the entire class in silence, absorbed in one point of the class or secretly scribbling in their notebooks. They don't like answering questions out loud or interacting in lessons. They don't work that way. However, educational centers, and even universities, continue to value the student who participates, who speaks, who raises his hand and spreads enthusiasm and interest with his attitude. That stereotype that links extroversion with success or efficacy is still deeply rooted in our mentalities and in our society. Specialists in social psychology, for example, tell us something interesting. They say that the profile of the extroverted person, charismatic but at the same time self-centered and insensitive to the needs of others, continues to elevate our work environments and our political elites much more strongly. It is as if the collective ideology values these behavioral and personality traits as effective without really seeing productive performance or the ability to create a climate of harmony between work groups. However, and here comes the most contradictory, current leadership research reveals that introverted, quiet, thoughtful, and patient people would lead to much higher performance and a more satisfied human environment. On the other hand, the professor and researcher Francesca Gino, from Harvard University, carried out a study where she showed that leaders with an introverted personality profile are not very common today. They are strange birds in a world where extroversion continues to triumph. However, in those work environments where the management department has a slow-paced leader, they have a great facilitator when it comes to enhancing the skills of their workers. Employees are much more proactive, more creative, and feel happier because that introverted leader gives them confidence and new opportunities. Quiet people are not necessarily shy. They are slow, they have another rhythm, other times, and other needs. For them, the world sometimes goes too fast and they are not able to analyze each aspect, each detail as they wish. Because each nuance of his reality must first pass through the filter of emotions, and such delicacy, such meticulousness carries his task, his language, his craftsmanship. There are those who find silence uncomfortable and unbearable, perhaps because they have too much noise inside. Quiet people are not comfortable being the center of attention. They are not anyone's satellite and prefer to orbit in private spaces, sometimes even alone. This behavioral style can arouse a certain strangeness in the eyes of others, which is why the quietest people are often labeled as shy, timid, reserved, or lacking interest. However, it is important to know that this personality style hides its treasures and beauties in the depths, and that is where its immeasurable beauty lies. The traits of a silent and introverted person can be very varied. However, and broadly speaking, these would be some basic characteristics of the minds of the most reserved people. Number 1. They think before they speak. They are considerate when communicating. They know how to listen. They reflect and respond later. Number 2. Silence helps them find solutions and solve problems efficiently and resourcefully. It is possible that people who speak little are, at the same time, very creative and imaginative, because even if they are silent, their brain does not rest. Number 3. They don't like superficiality. Their focus of interest navigates the depths of reality. They are imaginative. They like to relate ideas, concepts. They are dreamers, and they usually talk to themselves all the time. Number 4. They have few and select friends. In general, quiet people tend to have few friends, and these have been rigorously selected throughout life, either because they share interests or hobbies or because they have the enjoyment of silence in common. Number 5. Quiet people are often characterized by good self-confidence. They don't get carried away either by other people's opinions. They have solid values and clear ideas. Number 6. They prefer writing to communicating. They feel more comfortable with the written word. Number 7. They listen carefully. Not always waiting their turn to speak, these people tend to be good listeners and confidants. Finally, as we have previously pointed out, loneliness is a common refuge in the introverted person. However, it should be noted that they do not seek it as an escape mechanism, but as a space to recover energy and clarity. Because, after all, quiet people are accomplices of that wisdom that is born from reflection, imagination, and above all, from quiet silence. What do you think of quiet people? You feel identified? Leave us your opinion in the comment box. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. See you soon.